Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Can I Come Over? I'm your host, Nicole, and in today's episode, I am going to be talking about the psychology of reality TV shows. This has been an interesting topic of discussion, actually, because there's been a whole new, purge of reality TV shows on the internet right now, especially with the latest season of Love Island that just got over by the time that I was filming this episode. So, you know, I've got notes to give you guys. I've got a list of things to talk about. But obviously, as usual, before we get into that list and the whole topic of discussion, I'm going to be talking about my current obsession. So, my current obsession for this week is the Hunger Games, the movies, and the books. I actually did read the books and watched the first four original movies when it came out, like in 2015 or something, and I was obsessed with it then. And then I felt like rewatching those movies again, so I rewatched it recently, and then I got into the whole books and everything again, and I watched the last one that came out, which is not part of the four movies that originally came out. This one came out like in 2020, I think, or 2021. I'm not sure. And I've been obsessed. Like I've been watching the videos on TikToks. I've been watching edits, and I simply cannot get enough of it. Like it's so interesting to me, and I've read the original the original three books. Amazing writing. I Yeah, I love it, and I need to read the new ones, Sunrise on the Reaping and Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I need to get on it ASAP, but I haven't got the chance yet. But oh my god, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed, and I cannot wait. I can't wait for the new movie to come out next year in 2026. It's gonna be amazing. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be sad at the cinema. I'm gonna be there with my snacks and my popcorn. Yeah, yep, and tissues, of course. Yeah. So that's been my current obsession. Well, without further ado, let's get in on to the episode. Okay, so for today's episode, I chose to do the topic, the psychology of reality TV shows. And I felt like it was a fitting topic considering how reality TV shows has been such a hit recently. And it always has been if you think about it, From the 2000s, people have always enjoyed watching reality TV shows. And I think the reason why I had a newfound interest in this concept or the idea of reality TV shows and the psychology behind it is when I had to do a presentation on this topic. And I came across an enormous amount of TV shows that had the most insane concepts surrounding it. It was crazy. Like one of them, was called I Want to Marry Harry, and it was aired in 2014, I think. Um, and basically, the idea behind the TV show was that there were a bunch of American women, and they were all strangers to each other, and they were staying in this one big house. And the producers of the show invites Prince Harry, and the women have to kind of basically try to impress him and make him fall for them. Um, and at the end of the game, they had to make sure that he's convinced to pick one of them, basically. And the funniest part is they had no idea that it was a fake Prince Harry, and I saw the trailer of it. It was hilarious. And there's so many other shows like this. Like for example, there's another one called Wife Swap, and it started airing in 2004, and it had been airing till 2020, like almost 16 years, which is insane. And as the name suggests, it's basically that you swap wives with two different people, and then they document your life like that. So it's it's so crazy that people actually watch these shows and people get entertainment off of it. Like, why do we, as a regular TV audience, enjoy these shows like Big Brother, Love Island, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, etc.? Like, it's it's pretty interesting because if you think about it, there are technically real people who are putting on their lives to show us, right? And there are a lot of studies that dwell into the psychology behind watching and enjoying these shows. And if you've spent hours watching someone's dating life, or some kind of drama unfold, and you felt an adrenaline rush during an elimination or something like that, then you are not alone in this because this is a common thing that people experience. Now, talking about the allure of reality TV, I found an article that talks about the reality show's effects in our lives and society, and it's in Psychology Today by Tehu Smith. And basically, it addresses how reality TV often gives viewers a mix of drama, escape, and sometimes even relatability because it also taps into a sort of voyeurism, which is like the act of enjoying watching someone do something, and also vicariously living through emotions and experiences. That is essentially the whole point of reality TV shows, if you think about it. And the reality of this concept is simple because the general idea behind this article and the studies behind, why people enjoy reality TV shows is that we as humans, we relate to drama, we relate to betrayal, competition, the good and bad decision making skills. Like, we relate to all of these things because even though our lives are not as dramatized as the ones on reality TV shows, it's pretty obvious that we still some subconsciously or consciously make certain decisions that reflect these choices that are related to, all the things that I just mentioned. So in a way, it is definitely a huge part that contributes to the psychology of reality TV shows is the relatability aspect of it. And why people enjoy it so much is because they kind of maybe they don't see themselves in certain people presented on the media, but they definitely relate to the different types of choices and things like that are made. Now, to get into like the psychological concepts and the more scientific terms, I guess, um, before I get into that though, I want to ask you guys, let me know in the comments down below. Have you ever felt your heart rate, just rush when watching some kind of drama unfold in a reality TV show? If you are an avid like viewer of reality TV show in general, or even if you're a casual viewer, I can guarantee that you 100% felt this kind of adrenaline rush or something. And this arousal, so to say, that we get, or the increase in heart rate, all leads to the release of endorphins in our brains, which are pleasure inducing. Now, showmakers are 100% aware of the psychological effects of their reality TV shows, and hence they make edits and cut clips, etc., to maximize on the emotional highs and lows. I feel like this is pretty obvious because if you have any knowledge of the media industry, then a lot of the things that you see and consume are for this purpose. Even if they're not reality TV show, if they're content made by your favorite content creators, any kind of drama, celebrity drama, whatever it is to gain, some sort of reaction from the audience. And then, of course, there's also the whole concept of FOMO, which we did discuss previously in an episode. But the way that it relates to this specific topic is that um, a lot of today's meme culture actually stems from a reality TV show. You would be surprised. Like right now, there's so many trending audios on TikTok and Instagram that are taken from, for example, the latest season of Love Island. And if you don't understand the concept of it, you can sometimes feel left out, or maybe not. If not, good for you, because really it's not that big of a deal. But sometimes some people might feel left out and then they feel the urge to watch the show to understand the concept of it. So again, FOMO comes into play. If you want to know more about FOMO, be sure to check out our previous episode. And now we also have the concept of parasocial relationships. The definition of a parasocial relationship is basically a one sided relationship between audience or a viewer and a media persona. This could be a celebrity, an influencer, or a character in a TV show or a movie. And these types of relationships or the concept of parasocial relationships have definitely existed, for a long time. Like, for example, the whole idea of parasocial relationships and like more studies were done because of Beatlemania, which was, from the 1960s. So it's definitely been a thing for a long, long time. But I will say for sure that it is more prominent and intense nowadays because of the fact that celebrities and other media personas are more connected to the internet, and so are we. And there's more access to just kind of see what happens in each other's lives. People are more aware of what other people are doing, and because of that, you can easily get attached to people through digital media. And then, moreover, these relationships mimic real friendships and help viewers feel less lonely and isolated as well. So it's a clear cut case of just kind of attaching yourself to someone on the internet simply so that you feel less lonely. And moreover, reality TV shows, when you're watching them, you root for someone that you feel the most connected to, so to say. And the whole point of reality TV shows is for it to be quote unquote real. So obviously, the concepts and the things that you see on it is meant to be real. And the people that you see, the actions that they make, and all of this is supposed to reflect your reality in a way as well. So it's easy to get attached to certain people, and also if these certain people, if it's like for example a dating show, if someone gets eliminated, then you can feel some sort of ache just because you were so attached to this person. And that is a form of parasocial relationship as well. Now, moving on to some other concepts that kind of come under this whole idea or the umbrella topic of psychology of reality TV shows is the beauty standards. I'm not going to go into in-depth conversation about this because it's quite intense, and I can state facts, examples, sources, etc., and it would be a whole other episode. But all in all, it's pretty self-explanatory that a lot of beauty standards have been reinforced by reality TV shows, for example, Keeping Up with the Kardashians or America's Next Top Model. These TV shows have reinforced time and time again beauty standards depending on trends, depending on what's new, etc. And it's actually insane that people still do that. For example, in dating shows again, dating shows are a huge, 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 huge advocate, quote unquote, to kind of reinforce these beauty standards. It's actually very detrimental because they have the typical traditional standards of like slim bodies or certain body proportions, skin type or hair type, etc., etc. And then there will be contestants who don't necessarily fit these standards, who will be sidelined or bullied and picked upon. So obviously this adds on to you know a lot more of the whole beauty standard agenda, so to say. And again, like I mentioned, it's quite detrimental to just society in general and especially for women. Um, but yeah, I could go on and on about beauty standards, and I really don't want to get into it because it's definitely a huge topic of discussion. But the last thing that I want to bring up under this whole concept is how reality TV shows are sometimes not even real. I think it's pretty common knowledge out there for people who are, especially like people who are really, really big fans of reality TV shows, that many a times producers, editors, directors, whoever it is, they often cut out clips and audios and make a lot of edits to certain scenes to make it look like something that it wasn't. And there are actually a lot of participants or cast and crew who have actually come out and like admitted that, editors have done certain things to make some scene look way more dramatized and way more intense than what it actually was. And one of the biggest examples of this is Dance Moms. I used to love watching Dance Moms growing up as a kid, because it was just a bunch of girls dancing their hearts away, and then they had this mean teacher and their moms who would fight for them and fight the teacher, etc., etc. And I remember being so invested in all the drama that happened and everything. And then recently, obviously, a lot of the original cast members had come out and spoke about how many of the scenes or many of the fight scenes and things like that, although some of them were real, a lot of them were edited to make it look like it was, very much more dramatized than it actually was. It was so fabricated for audience to have some kind of perception of a person on the show or whatever it was. Like it's been done, and a lot. This has also been admitted by a bunch of people who've been on The Bachelor, for example, and again, so this is the whole idea of like if are reality TV shows even real? Most of the time, it's not. Sometimes, like for example, with shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and stuff, sometimes there are a certain amount of scripts even to just kind of film something. Like example, if they don't have enough content room, then they have filler clips that are already script written to add on to a scene to make it longer or to make the episode more real, quote unquote. So there are things like this that are obviously being done by showmakers, and it's actually pretty crazy that a lot of people are unaware about all this. And I think, with that being said, I just want to preface and say that there's nothing wrong with watching reality TV shows. You can watch it, because it's a great escapism and it's great entertainment. At the end of the day, it induces a lot of adrenaline and dopamine, and it's made for fun. Obviously, people enjoy it for a reason. Some people have them as their guilty pleasure. Some people like to laugh at the people on the shows, and whatever it is, it's a great source of entertainment at the end of the day. With that being said, though, enjoy the drama, but don't let it warp how you see yourself and how you see others. You can watch it, talk about it, analyze it, laugh about it, but just don't lose the power that you have as a viewer. And with that being said, I would like to conclude today's episode by asking you guys to give me, like, tell me what are you watching right now? Like, what are some of your favorite reality TV shows or even reality TV show moments if you are a reality TV show watcher? Let me know some of your favorite moments. Um, and yeah, that's it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys very soon. And of course, follow us on our socials. They will be linked down below. Watch our last episode and stay tuned for the next one. You can always come knocking by whenever you want. Bye.